I just love when there's truth hiding in plain sight. And I love unlocking it and decoding it. Like, especially when it's in the words, not in some ancient manuscript locked away in a vault somewhere. Not in some secret library that only elites have access to. It's in the words you speak every single day. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, let's talk about something crazy. Remember, you probably learned about this when you were about 5 years old. The cardinal directions. North, south, east, west. Simple enough, but when you rearrange the letters and play around with the words, now, when you say east, if you rearrange those letters, you get seat. Same exact letters, perfect anagram. West becomes rest. And north, rearrange it, you get throne. Throne backwards is north, just minus the E. And south becomes mouth. Now, put it together and think about what we're actually looking at here. The sun rises from its seat in the east, travels across the sky, and goes to rest in the west. And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's the entire solar cycle, right? Right there, encoded in the directions. But does it get any deeper? Because I always want to go deeper. And it's not just the sun, it's the sun. Not just the S-U-N, the S-O-N, pronounced the same. And I don't think that's a coincidence. So now you got the sun rises from his seat in the east, does his work, and returns to rest in the west. And that's a story to be told right there in the cardinal directions. But where's the throne? North. North backwards is throne. That's where the Father is, on the throne, fixed, unmoving. Everything rotates around it. Polaris, the axis, all of it. The Son sits at the right hand of the Father, right? So the throne is the Father's seat. The Son has his own seat in the east, where he rises from. And then we have south. South is mouth. And I know this gets a little bit wild. Some people might not be following, but I'm going to bring it together. The Antarctic Circle, if you look at it on an AE projection map, it's literally the circle that holds in the waters, the ring on the outside. Now, what if that's God's mouth? Think about it. Where does sound come from? The voice box, the larynx, which would be at the center, at the north, at the throne. So the word, capital W, originates from the throne, travels outward through reality, through everything we experience, and exits at the mouth, the southern boundary. In the beginning was the Word, and God said, "Let there be light." He spoke creation into existence. We are literally living inside the spoken word. The realm between the throat and the lips. That's what this is showing us. But wait, there's more. And this is the part that really got me. Look at the words again. Throne starts with TH. Self ends with TH. The beginning and the end. I am the Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. And then the TH sound, which, by the way, you breathe to make that sound, right? It's a breath. It's a breath sound, spirit, pneuma, whatever you want to call it. The TH marks where it starts and where it ends. And what's in between? East and west. No TH. Coincidence? Maybe. But that's the journey. The Son's journey between the beginning and the end. Rises from his seat, goes to rest, all of it occurring between. And then, this is where I almost fell out of my chair. Thoth, T-H-O-T-H, begins with TH, ends with TH. The Egyptian god of writing, the inventor of language, the creator of words, signed his work. He literally signed his work. He put the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, into his own name. The being who created language, He encoded the truth of creation into the language itself, and then he signed it. Thoth, Thoth. And look, pull the letters apart a different way, because that's what we do. We have thought, Thouth, Ougth, thought, ought. It's the same root word. The thinking is internal word, the word before it's spoken. Thoth encoded himself into thought, into the very process of creation through the mind. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, the oath. The oath is Theoath. TH at the beginning, TH at the end. The most sacred use of words when you swear on an oath, you're using language to create reality, to make something binding, to speak something into existence. And guess what's inside the oath? We have Thoth, thoth, and what we have left over is E and A. Ea is a Sumerian god of wisdom. The oath literally contains Thoth and Ea, two ancient wisdom gods embedded in the word for a sacred spoken promise. When you swear an oath, you're invoking the divine power of language itself. So let's keep going, because once you start looking, these things are everywhere, all over the English language especially. God, add one letter. What do you get? Good. To be good is to be of God. The word itself tells you. Devil. Look at devil. It's just the evil. They didn't even try to hide that one. Evil, spelled backwards, is live. To be evil is to live in reverse, against the flow of life. Words, rearranged, is sword. Words are swords. They cut, they defend, they conquer. Listen, rearranged, is silent. To truly listen, you have to become silent. It's right there. Earth, which I've talked about, rearranged, is heart. I talk about this all the time. The earth is the heart of the system. These aren't accidents. This is the encoding. And then the big one, the beginning of it all, is Genesis, Adam and Eve. Say the words, Adam and Eve. Adam, odd, Eve, even. Where autumn comes from. All is a tomb. We are all made of atoms. Adam and Eve, odd and even. Autumn and even. Hear it? So the indivisible masculine principle, 1, 3, 5, 7, doesn't split evenly. Eve equals even. The feminine principle, 2, 4, 6, 8, perfectly divisible. The creation story isn't just mythology. It's mathematics. It's literal God, the one, divided into the indivisible principle of the divisible principle. And from their interaction, odd and even numbers dancing together, all of creation emerges. The first humans are named after the first mathematical distinction. Adam and Eve, odd and even. That's not coincidence. That's design, intelligent design. So why? Why would the truth be hidden in language? Because you can't destroy what people speak every day. You know, you can burn down cities, you can burn books, you can rewrite history, you can suppress knowledge, you can hide documents, you can do all those things. But you can't stop people from saying north, south, east, west. You can't remove Adam and Eve from the Bible. You can't remove the God and the devil, good and evil. You can't stop people from swearing oaths. You can't stop people from using language. Nothing would work. The truth was encoded where it couldn't be erased, in the words themselves. Passed down through generations, spoken billions of times daily, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. The ancients weren't primitive. They were brilliant. They hid the truth in the one place no one would think to look. The words coming out of our own mouths. And then we have this one, and this one's wild, and I gotta shout out my friend Lindsay Harris from Tomb of Illumination for catching this with me. Look at the word vesica, as in Vesica Pisces, and that's a sacred geometry shape. The two overlapping circles with the almond shape in the middle. Now say it out loud. Vesica. Now say the woman's creation portal. Vesica equals the woman's creation portal. And that shape, that almond shape where the two circles meet, that is the birth canal, the feminine portal, the gateway through which all creation enters physical form. That's why it's in every Gothic cathedral doorway. That's why it's the most sacred shape in ancient architecture. It's the portal of creation. But it does get dark because the same shape, they flipped it 90 degrees and called it the all-seeing eye, the Illuminati symbol, the thing on the dollar bill, the surveillance system everyone's afraid of. The same exact shape, same almond, same pointed ends, but they took the most sacred feminine symbol, the literal doorway of life, and convinced you it's about control, about being watched, about Big Brother. That's the inversion. That's how they hide truth. Take something sacred, flip its meaning, and make you fear your own source. The eye isn't watching you. The eye is the birth canal, the portal of creation, and they don't want you to remember that. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Pay attention to the words that you use. When you say east, remember the sun rises from its seat to give light to the day. When you say west, remember the sun goes to rest in the west. When you hear north, remember the throne, the Father, the source. And when you see south, or say south, remember the mouth, where the word is spoken from the center of. The Antarctic Circle is the mouth. Travel south from anywhere in the world and you eventually end up at the mouth, the Antarctic Circle that holds in all the waters. When you hear Adam and Eve, remember odd and even. And when you swear an oath, remember you're invoking the power of thoth, the power of thought. The truth isn't hidden. It's spoken every single day by everyone, including you. You've been speaking it your entire life, hearing it your entire life, and now you can listen differently. The words know, they've always known, and now you know too. Dusty Truth signing out. Peace.